One of the most iconic pictures of my lifetime is this one. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Talking about standing up in front of adversity. So no, I'm not making this quick short on the Tiananmen Square, but I am making this short on why it's important to stand up through adversity. So a quick a lesson in history. In the late 80s, college students in China were organizing in the Tiananmen Square against repression and communism and etc. A long story short, these tanks rolled in and pretty much just destroyed a bunch of people and lives. And as the tanks rolled through the town to finally kind of consolidate, this gentleman stood in front of the tank, climbed up on top of one of them, spoke to, if I recall, correct me if I'm in the comments, but spoke to one of the soldiers that popped out of the tank, and he climbed off the tank and was shortly escorted away from the square, was never heard from since, remaining one of the biggest mysteries in human history in terms of freedom. Look it up. No one knows what happened to the gentleman. Was he silenced? Who knows? Fast forward to today. I really do believe that there's a lot of good in the world, and I really do believe that people are beginning to wake up to what's around them. The world is changing so rapidly. It used to change like once a year. Now it changes once every 10 seconds. If you just look around you and slow down, do a little bit of study back to whether it's the Romans, the Greeks, BC, the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, whatever, you'll see that history continues to repeat itself. And throughout these civilizations that rise and fall, the kings come into power, they have kids, and then kids and kids, and then those the future kings come into power, and they've been dumbed down, and then they don't know how to run the empire, and then this system or the cycle repeats itself. Same with technologies that, look at the United States. We manufacture, we went from picking cotton with slaves, which was terrible. I'm just saying that the elite learned how to weave cotton with their hands, and then they were like, the elite's kids were like, okay, I don't want to do this. I'm going to get someone else to do it. So here came the slave trade. And then in the North, they were like, hey, we just figured out manufacturing. And then they were started to expand themselves, like, no, and the Civil War started. So here we are. We're like in this AI revolution, right? All these people losing their jobs, and now people are like, here comes the division line again. You know how guano, that's bird droppings, were like the first major, like, bird crap was the way we fertilize crops. And when someone, I think it was the Germans that figured out a way in other words, to grow food quicker than the world population exploded. So here we are, AI revolution. What are we going to do about it? If we don't do something about it, we are all going to be peasants again. We're going to be serfs. We can start by taking cell phones away from children, at least until they're almost about to graduate from high school. Please, because they won't study. There are stages of development that a child must go through. Nature versus nurture, the 7 stages of development, shame and doubt, and all this stuff. They don't go through it with these phones. Forget the phones, stand together, forget corruption, stand up together, forget isms, and love one another.